Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today we're answering questions about OCD recovery. These are the questions that you asked below my videos. And the first question is, I actually think this question might not be directed to me, but more to the community. We've formed quite a community over time here. So it's nice that, people are helping other people recover as well. It's just, that's the thing is, it's, people need to be more aware of how OCD works. I find if you take, below my videos, there's people interacting, right? And their interaction is so different from what we see on the OCD forums, where it's just reassurance seeking. You have to stop reacting from a position of fear to recover. It's honestly, it's the more you do the work, the better you're going to feel. It's just step by step climbing out of this. So the question is, or the comment is, need to keep remembering fear and what ifs equal OCD. Fear comes so automatically. Good measure of OCD. Signs of OCD for me, words, what if, feelings of fear within my body, needing to figure it out and check, needing to apologize and confess. I find if I take a nibble at trying to solve, I end up eating more and more and more of fear, and OCD, it never stops. Do others agree with this? And this is, I think this is directed to people who are replying, right? But I find with my clients as well, this is always the case. Not all of those traits are present in every situation, but at least some are. So it's, this is just how OCD goes, and you have to recognize those signs. And it's, if you're experiencing this is, and if it's your specific theme that you get all the time, or one of the themes that you get, this is OCD. Stop reacting to it. Or it could be a new theme that's just starting up. Don't let it get you. Don't let it start up. This is OCD, not doing this anymore. Kind of bought into it for a few minutes or a day or whatever, right? Now I'm done. I'm choosing to move on. So don't allow it to get you. As soon as you realize what you're doing, stop reacting. Try to shift your attention. If you feel like you can't shift your attention, at least divert. So you're saying, or delay rather, right? So you're saying, I won't think about it for the next hour or next 2 hours, next 3 hours, until you feel stronger to disregard for the full day, and then 2 days. And then, okay, you know what? I'll think about it after a week. So you're refusing. And when you do that, even though you're kind of not technically saying no, you're saying you'll do it later in terms of a compulsion ritual, you're still coming from a position of power rather than fear, like I need to drop everything and solve it now. So it's just step by step getting out of this. And it's so good when people see these patterns, because it's OCD always works on a pattern. So if you see the pattern, it gives you power. I have a question about sensorimotor OCD. How do you treat an obsession about not being able to forget about my breathing? Can ERP help with an obsession like this? So every time you notice it and the fear comes in, you have to choose not to react. It doesn't matter what type of OCD it is. And it's the same thing with these types of situations. That, the problem is not how you're breathing. The problem is your fear. So choosing to react differently. I have religious OCD. I can't control my habit of automatic rituals. After doing so, I think I have thought it consciously. It means I have to fear. Please help. In terms of automatic stuff, you can't control it. There's nothing you can do. As soon as you realize you have to choose to stop. But if you did a ritual automatically, it's what it is. And then in terms of thinking it consciously, right, then this is the what if thought. But what if I thought it consciously? Let me try to figure it out. Oh, but if I thought consciously, then that means that it's bad, and now I have to so don't fall into it. That's reassurance, that's analyzing, that's what keeps you trapped. So you want to say, it was automatic, don't care, I'm choosing to move on. But at this point, your OCD will say, but what if this, but what if that, nope. Not buying into it, not dealing with it, I'm choosing to move on. And as you choose to move on, you will see that you start to feel better, after a while, because the brain's going to try to send you everything at first when you refuse reaction. So you just have to live through that initial period, and after that, it will lose power. Can you do this is interesting. Can you do self-reassurance and reassurance from other people and analyzing from a position of power? If so, how? No, you cannot do that, because you can only do it from a position of fear. So, it's kind of like you're asking me how to come out of the water dry. Not gonna happen. You actually have to do the work to recover. You can't take the easy way out because unfortunately there is no easy way out. You have to actually refuse reassurance, actually refuse asking reassurance from others, actually refuse analyzing, not just in theory, but in practice in order to recover. You know, honestly, I wish I could tell you there was an easier way to recover from this. In all my practice, and I talk to people from different countries, you know, in different countries, the OCD is treated a little bit differently, not by much, but still, different methodologies, things like that. And there's just no other way. There's just nothing else that I see that works, you know, even to any kind of, worth talking about it extent, you know, but this works all the time, but it will only work if you actually do the work. Can you explain the kind of reassurance and analyzing we shouldn't do and how to stop it? So the most obvious types is when you're doing something that's physical. So on purpose doing some sort of a ritual compulsion, on purpose going and asking somebody. So those are physical actions. They take time because you actually have to, say for example, have to, you know, get up and ask somebody, or, you know, say if you're going to do online research, you have to actually go on the internet, right? So these things take time. And between when you thought to do something and when you're actually doing something, you know, for reassurance, that try to stop yourself before you actually start doing reassurance, you know, again, delaying, right? Okay, I won't do it now. I'll wait a little bit, then I'll do it, you know, at least doing that. So, you know, in terms of, can you explain the kind of reassurance and analyzing you shouldn't do? Any reassurance and analyzing that has to do with your theme, you should not do. So you shouldn't be figuring out anything that has to do with your theme. What ways can we speak about it with family without it being reassurance and analyzing the situation? You know what? I would say just try to generally just avoid it. Because it is part of your OCD. It is your, you know, your OCD situation right now. And I can tell you, OCD is never good for relationships. So if you just avoid that topic entirely, I think that, you know, if you don't actually need to speak about it. If you do need to speak about it in a way of the subject matter, not from a position of fear, and on topics that have nothing to do with your OCD. You know? So if it shouldn't be talking as a reassurance, it should be just talking, discussing a certain matter. But if you find that you're kind of going into the topic of your OCD, try to get away from that. And again, not from a position of fear getting away from that, but from a position of this is not productive, this is going to make me feel worse, I'm not discussing this. So, and I think that, you know, in terms of family members, having an understanding about it and kind of all coming up to the same kind of conclusion, right? So everybody's on the same page that, you know what, right now it's not really productive for me to discuss this topic. Please understand, you know, and everybody's on the same page, and you know what I mean? Kind of going like that. As you get better, you can start going into discussing any type of situation without, but you have to do it without fear, you know? If you choose to talk about whatever the topic of your theme is, but in a healthy manner, you have to make sure that you're doing it from a position of power. And that would be an exposure. So, okay, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to expose myself, but from a position of power. I'm not going to do reassurance. If somebody says something that triggers me, it's okay. I'm not going to react. Again, it's kind of just general advice because I don't know what topic you mean, but I'm hoping you can apply some of this. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you're interested in starting the recovery program, the information is on youhaveocd.com. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.